After a grueling day traversing Sofia, Bulgaria, it was mother-daughter duo Erika and Melinda that were unfortunately eliminated from the Amazing Race. The duo joins me now via Zoom. So, Melinda, Erika, just tell me, why did you all want to compete on the race?
From the beginning, it's kind of funny. We actually have watched The Amazing Race since I was a kid. We have watched all the way through. My mom has always loved this show and just kind of grew up watching it with her. And ironically, the reason that we applied, or I asked my mom to apply, is because people kept telling me that we would be fun to watch and do really well. So we're both really competitive. And usually we actually bicker a ton more. Somehow on the race, we were like, no, we have to focus in. But just kind of being told, I was like, all right, mom, let's apply. And here we are.
You know, one thing that really stood out to me about something you said, Erica, with your mom was after you guys were eliminated, you talked about how, sometimes you'll get frustrated with your mom over the phone, given that you guys live in different states, but, you could just hang up on her, kind of avoid her via phone or text if you wanted to. But on the race, you were kind of forced to really hang out for several days, traveling across the world. And now you were hoping instead of a hang up, it would turn into a hang out. So I'm kind of curious, tell me about your relationship and a little bit more about your dynamic as a mother-daughter duo.
For me, I mean, we live in different states. And so it is like so easy to just be like, all right, bye, or like, don't answer the phone. Um, but I think the race gave us this opportunity to spend a month long together with no phones, no anything, and just kind of having to figure it out. And for me, I mean, my mom can speak to it also. I was just impressed that we were able to do that much time. And even a relationship that isn't strong, like that is really strong, you're going to argue a lot, right? And like the fact that we were able to do it and not, like we got through that whole month and like we stayed friends, which is so impressive because I don't think anyone would have even thought that we were friends from the beginning. And so I think it was just such a testament to like our growth and things like that in our relationship.
No, I just was so grateful for the time that we got to spend and do together. And really, we're both competitive. And when you want to win and you want to keep going, we had to pick who was going to be in charge. We couldn't be like, I want to do it. We had to really pick. And so she did an incredible job leading. She did a great job. I'm so grateful for everything she did and just saw how blessed I am with how she's grown into an incredible woman.
Something I'm wondering that I think a lot of other fans were confused on as well, that Phil did address at the mat after you all were eliminated, was he asked you to reread the clue because you were not supposed to take a taxi this leg, but you all did. So please walk me through what happened here.
Um, First of all, comical. It was hilarious when he first said it. He's like, reread the clue. And my favorite thing actually that they didn't show, which is hilarious. My mom's gonna be mad, but he was like, I'm sure this is like on both of you. And my mom goes, oh, I never read any clues. And it was so I was like, thank you, owned.
I
But
didn't.
we did not realize it obviously along the way. We never saw any other teams and stuff like that. And ultimately the taxis weren't what like necessarily took us out. I think it was a lot of running. You saw a lot of other teams running that day and like everything on foot. And I just don't think I mean, my mom absolutely killed that dance at the end. And if we had been running around all day, we wouldn't have been able to keep up anyways at that point. And so for us, it kind of saved us a little bit. And it saved my mom's legs to be able to crush the dance and kind of have that moment for herself. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was hard. Keeping up, maybe we could have got to buses closer than fighting the taxi, but I was struggling the entire race. I had fallen from the attic and broke my heel, didn't walk for 8 weeks. I was in a couple months before I was in a car accident and had gotten totaled and injured my back and my hip. And so I was just walking a mile before we left. So it was a lot just to keep up. And that was part of my mental problem of feeling like I was always keeping us behind. So yeah, if we had done a lot of running that trip, it would have been even harder to do that dance. But
One thing I've really loved about this season is all the incredible cities and all the incredible challenges you all have done. I think it's been a really well-rounded season. Is there a location that you visited or a challenge that really stands out to you?
well, I totally loved the skydiving. I've been
Yeah.
wanting to do that. Erica had already got to skydive, so we said if that ever comes up, I get to do it. I
Mm-hmm.
was really excited about that. Really, every country was amazing. We are so blessed to be able to be a part of it and to experience the people, the cultures. It was all, it was all exceptional.
It was the perfect season for us to be on for multiple reasons. One, the twists always kind of seemed to play in our favor, which was helpful. As much as everyone else hated them, we were thriving with the twists. But also, like for me, highlight like my mom, Dubai was just so cool. Like taking the camels and being out in the desert, but then also in this, like it was just everywhere we got to go, besides Bulgaria now. Never want to go back there. But it was such an incredible season, and we're so grateful that we got to go and see everything.
One thing that was really cool about this season was the alliance between the two of you and then Pops and Jeff, a father-son duo. And this started really early on in the season, and we saw that kind of carry through. So tell me a little bit about this alliance from your perspective, and also after they were eliminated in Dubai, did that kind of affect your game at all?
Jeff and I got along really well from the beginning. I think we just kind of realized like we're the same, and then like our parents were kind of the same, and just that dynamic. It is so different than any other dynamic I think on the race, and it's a really challenging one. Just the growth that you have to have and how you encourage each other is different and stuff like that. And so I think the first thing that like made sense, and Jeff and I strategically were both like really strategically minded, was like, hey, if I do a roadblock, Pops will do it, and if there's a struggle, I'm going to help. And if my mom's doing a roadblock, Jeff can do it. And if there's struggles, like he can help. And that was kind of our first strategic meshing with them, being like, this is a really smart alliance for us. When they left, it was heartbreaking. Literally, when we left the cupcakes, we were like almost in tears in like the cab, because I was like, we should have just told them the flowers. We know they know the flowers. And my mom's like, we couldn't. Like there was just no chance. And so it was a really, really, really hard one for us to see them go. That one hurt.
All right, ladies, I have to know, ask every team this that I speak to, if Phil picks up the phone and gives you a call, would you return to the race and compete again?
I'm 1,000%. Yeah. And my mom's healthier now. I mean, she might be older, but now she can walk and run.
Well,
So call
be
me back.
healthier next time.
Melinda, Erika, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me about your journey on this season of The Amazing Race. Grateful that I got to speak with you and learn more about your experience. The Amazing Race airs Wednesdays on CBS.